Sanatan Dharma, Hinduism and the living Sant tradition. Hello, friends. Today, let us talk about something very ancient, very deep, and yet very relevant to our lives today. The world knows it as Hinduism, but the soul of India has always known it as Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is not just a religion. It is a way of understanding life itself. The relationship between human beings, nature, and the entire universe. Where did the word Hinduism come from? Let us begin with a simple truth. The word Hinduism did not originate in India. It came from the Sindhu River. Over time, when Persian travelers spoke the word Sindhu, it became Hindu. Later, during the 18th and 19th centuries, British scholars used the term Hinduism to describe India's vast spiritual culture. But in ancient India, no one ever said, "I follow Hinduism." People said, "I walk the path of Dharma," or "I live according to Sanatan." What does Sanatan really mean? Sanatan means eternal, that which has no beginning, that which has no end, that which exists beyond time. Sanatan Dharma was not created by anyone. It was not founded on a particular date. It is the eternal truth that exists with creation itself. The Vedas, the roots of wisdom. The foundation of Sanatan Dharma lies in the Vedas. The Rigveda speaks about the forces of nature and cosmic energy. The Yajurveda teaches disciplined action and conscious living. The Samaveda reveals the power of sound and vibration. The Atharvaveda explores the mind, healing, and life sciences. The Vedas do not demand blind belief. They invite understanding. The Upanishads, the science of the self. Then come the Upanishads. They ask one powerful question: who am I? They gently guide us to realize, I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not even the intellect. The realization is simple yet profound. Aham Brahmasmi, I am that eternal consciousness. This is not religion. This is inner science. The idea of God in Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma does not describe God as a distant figure sitting somewhere in the sky. It says God is consciousness. God is energy. God is universal law. As the ancient wisdom says, truth is one, but wise people express it in many ways. Deities as symbols of universal principles. In this tradition, deities are not meant to divide people. They represent cosmic principles. Shiva represents pure awareness. Shakti represents creative energy. Vishnu represents balance and preservation. Brahma represents creation. Forms are used only to help the human mind understand the formless. The law of karma. One of the most beautiful teachings of Sanatan Dharma is karma. What you think, what you speak, what you do. Everything leaves an imprint. This is not reward or punishment. It is simply a universal law. Action leads to reaction. What is moksha really? Moksha does not mean going to heaven after death. Moksha means freedom. Freedom from ignorance. Freedom from fear. Freedom from ego. Freedom from endless inner suffering. Moksha is awakening while living. Freedom to question. Sanatan Dharma is unique. Here, even a non-believer is accepted. Questions are encouraged. Truth is not forced, it is discovered. This is not rigid belief. This is freedom of consciousness. The Satguru path, the living heart of the Sant tradition. To truly understand the Sant Parampara, we must understand the Satguru path, because without a Satguru, this path remains incomplete. In Sanatan Dharma, knowledge is not meant to stay only in books. Truth must be transmitted through living experience. A Satguru is not simply a teacher, a preacher, or a philosopher. A Satguru is one who has realized the truth within, and whose very presence helps awaken that same truth in others. Why is a Satguru needed? The Upanishads clearly state, a person truly knows only when guided by a realized teacher. Why is this so important? Because the Sakyaru path does not work on the surface level of the mind. It works beyond thoughts, beyond beliefs, beyond imagination. Just as you cannot learn swimming only by reading books. You cannot see light by studying darkness. In the same way, self-realization requires direct inner guidance. The Sakyaru does not give belief, he removes ignorance. A true Sakyaru does not ask you to accept new beliefs. Instead, the Sakyaru helps you drop false identities. Not Hindu, not Muslim, not scholar, not seeker. Only pure awareness remains. This is why the Sant Parampara emphasizes inner silence, awareness, direct perception. The Sakyaru does not add anything to you. He only removes what is not you. Nam and Shabd, the core practice of the Sakyaru path. In the Sakyaru tradition, the central practice is Nam and Shabd. Nam is not merely a word spoken by the mouth. Shabd is not just a sound heard by the ears. They refer to inner vibration, the subtle current of consciousness that already exists within you. This practice is not visible, not ritualistic, not external. It unfolds inside, and therefore requires the guidance of one who has already walked the path. Why the Sakyaru path is rare? The Sakyaru path is rare because it cannot be commercialized. It cannot be followed blindly. It cannot be practiced for show. It demands inner honesty, surrender of ego, willingness to see oneself clearly. Most paths promise comfort. The Sakyaru path promises truth. Kabir Sahib Ji and the Sakyaru path. Sant Kabir Sahib Ji stood firmly in the Sakyaru tradition. Again and again, Kabir Sahib emphasized the importance of the Sakyaru. Without the Sakyaru, the mind remains trapped in illusion. With the Sakyaru, even the impossible becomes possible. Kabir Sahib Ji not glorify institutions or outer symbols. He glorified direct awakening through the Sakyaru. His Vani is sharp because it cuts illusion. His compassion is deep because it leads to freedom. The goal of the Sakyaru path. The goal of the Sakyaru path is not heaven. It is not power. It is not identity. The goal is awakening. To see clearly. To live freely. To rest in truth. When ignorance drops. When ego dissolves. What remains is natural awareness. This is liberation while living. Sanatan Dharma gives the vast vision. The Upanishads give the highest understanding. But the Sakyaru path gives living realization. This is why the Sant Parampara has always been rare, silent, and powerful. It does not call the crowd. It calls the sincere. Thank you for listening.